All right, guys, World Cup 2026 is coming to Dallas, and here is what no one is telling you. So here's the tea. Dallas is about to host the biggest sporting event in the world, and almost nobody realizes how massive this is going to be. We're talking billions and billions of dollars, global attention, and one of the biggest real estate opportunities this city has ever seen. Very quick, if you don't know me, my name is Hallie McCrory. I'm a Dallas-based real estate advisor, and today I'm breaking down exactly what the 2026 FIFA World Cup means for Dallas, Texas. Not just the fun stuff, but the logistics, the money, the infrastructure, and what this actually means if you live here, invest here, or if you're thinking about moving here. I had the pleasure of seeing Monica Paul, the executive director of the Dallas Sports Commission, speak in a small setting this morning, which was really awesome. And she gave a lot of good information. So this is not the normal World Cup. And why is that? For the first time ever, it's going to be hosted across 3 different countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And it's actually expanding from 32 teams to 48 teams with a total of 104 matches. And here's the crazy part. Dallas is actually hosting 9 of the matches, which is the most of any host city, meaning Dallas isn't just participating, it's actually one of the central hubs of the entire tournament. So here's what's actually coming to Dallas. We've got AT&T Stadium, which is going to host the 9 matches, including a late stage match, which is super exciting. We've got the 34-day FIFA Fan Festival being held at Fair Park, which is going to be host up to 40,000 people at a time. And then thirdly, which is really a big differentiator for us, is in downtown Dallas, we're going to be housing the Global Broadcast Center with 3,500 different media professionals working 24/7. And that's actually starting, they're about to start coming May 10th. And actually today of recording is April 15th. We're really close in and honing in on this. So basically every single match in the entire World Cup is being broadcasted from Dallas, which is absolutely insane. So this is where it gets really interesting here. So we're going to have international media living here for weeks. We're going to have soccer teams training all across DFW. And we're also going to have fans traveling from all over the world, which is really cool. We're expecting teams like Argentina, which means Lionel Messi. And this is rumored to be, his last World Cup. We're going to have England, Croatia, Netherlands. Truly, this is not just any sporting event. This is global spotlight for Dallas, which is very exciting. Monica already said that they're seeing high numbers coming in from England. And when I say they, I mean the DFW airport reported that England is going to have a big presence here, and Japan, which is really cool. One of the biggest questions that I had in my mind going into this was, what is the projected economic impact? It's going to be between $1.5 to $2.1 billion in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is crazy for us. Flights into DFW are already projected to be 100% higher than normal during that time frame. June 14th to July 14th being our biggest dates for Dallas-Fort Worth, for people coming in and traffic being higher than normal. Yes, traffic is going to be insane. The city of Dallas and this sports commissioning unit is already talking about work from home advisories, which is very interesting. So here, it's going to be something to think about, and they're still working out the logistics, this close into the date. So now I want to talk about what I actually care about here, and what you probably should too if you're watching this video, which is real estate. So here's what's actually already happening behind the scenes. I've had a lot of people reach out, not only about purchasing Airbnbs here, which is almost a whole different topic, because at one point Airbnbs and short-term, I shouldn't just say Airbnbs, there's VRBO, there's so many different companies, but short-term rentals as a whole were banned from certain areas of Dallas and were conglomerated into smaller parts, mainly like hotel zones, multifamily zones. So, and then there was a statewide declaration that said that banning Airbnbs or short-term rentals, again, I should say, was not allowed. So now we're in this weird limbo where the city of Dallas is trying to take this to Supreme Court and make Airbnbs, dedicated to their certain areas like they wanted. But right now it's kind of almost like a free for all because there's no one regulating the Airbnbs right now in the VRBOs, the short-term rentals. So this is actually really cool that it's coinciding with FIFA and the World Cup coming to Dallas because there's so much influx of people wanting to stay in short-term rentals. We've got plenty of hotels all around DFW, but some people just prefer to, travel this way. So basically, we've had an influx of people looking to purchase properties that would be good for short-term rentals. And then we've also got people potentially looking to rent their primary home for this certain period of time and go stay somewhere else because the profits are potentially very high for a world sporting event like this that even rivals the Olympics. So here's kind of what's happening behind the scenes from that Monica Paul told us this morning. Companies are actively looking for luxury homes for VIP hospitality, which is really cool. As someone who works in the luxury space, that's super exciting to hear. I've actually had people from Canada reaching out heavily wanting to invest here in Dallas versus in mainly in Vancouver is where I'm hearing a lot of people come from. Secondly, Airbnb is the official partner for this event, meaning short-term rental demand will spike, as we've already mentioned, and can really just already guess. And then also entire neighborhoods near key areas are going to see increased demand, which we are already seeing in bookings. I've dug into a few, Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rental Facebook groups, and people are on it already for sure. So basically, my prediction and what I think we're going to see is the short-term rental premiums, corporate leasing opportunities, especially for furnished options, increased exposure for luxury listings, and long-term brand elevation for Dallas real estate. Again, this is my opinion based on past global events, but cities that host major events like this often see a lasting perception shift, not just a temporary bump, which is why, so many cities try to gun for Olympics, World Cup, big events like this, because it does have such a great economic impact. So I think hearing Monica speak this morning, it's really cool. Not only is there an economic impact, but it's really forcing Dallas to level up what they've already got. Which again, I think we see a lot of times with Olympics as well. We're seeing massive transportation coordination using the DART and shuttle systems. We're seeing federal level security involvement for the first time ever. The White House itself has a World Cup task enforcement team here. And we've got sustainability projects and new community investments, like soccer fields and underserved areas. We're having large cleanup initiatives between different nonprofits. We were already taking this on, but it's becoming even more of a feat here is, getting unhoused people into housing, the unhoused and the homeless. So, this kind of infrastructure push doesn't just disappear after the event. It usually, raises the baseline for the city. So that's really exciting to me. And also just, for real estate in general and our values. So here's the real question, how do you position yourself ahead of this? If you're a homeowner, do you need to be thinking about whether, your property could be used for short-term or corporate housing? If you're an investor, this is a window to maybe start identifying areas that will benefit from proximity and exposure. Or if you're a home buyer, you're stepping into a city that's about to get real global validation. So this is one of those moments where Dallas isn't just growing. It's being introduced to the world on a completely different level. And, I'm very grateful and excited for this event coming. And, it's going to be super exciting. I really love what Monica Paul talked about too, how so many different nonprofits and different organizations are coming together to address different initiatives. Like I said, for sustainability, there's different nonprofits looking at how, where food vendors could have a smaller carbon footprint, transportation. We're even focused on, there's like 350 stakeholders focused on not only, that sustainability aspect, but we're looking at security, transportation, even human rights. Big events like this, which I think I knew like in the back of my head, but didn't really think about. Human rights is a huge issue for big events because this is a targeted, usually these big events like this are opportunities for human trafficking groups to, gain new people, steal children. So there's groups addressing issues like this, like how are we going to prevent any human trafficking? And it's not even just nonprofit groups, it's local government groups too. So for example, the North Central Texas Council of Governments will utilize, they're coming up with their plan to utilize DART and the Trinity Metro rail lines to bring fans to the Centerport station, where a fleet of 125 shuttle buses will provide free transportation to and from AT&T Stadium. If you aren't from the area, it's usually anywhere from like 30 to 45 minutes to go from, downtown Dallas to downtown Arlington. And with this, who knows what's that really is going to look like with so much, the big influx of people that we're going to have coming. So that's, a great initiative there. We've also got the North Texas Sports Foundation, which has a goal to build 26 new soccer fields in underserved communities throughout North Texas. And which is just so amazing because I grew up playing sports. I was a big swimmer, and I know the impact that sports has had on me even today as an adult in the workforce or on my school and college, things like that. And it even comes down to just local civilian involvement as well. So the volunteer program, Monica told us, has been overwhelmingly popular. So there were 33,000 applicants for just 6,000 positions, just for volunteering. No one's getting paid on this, or at least for the volunteer positions. People just want to be involved and want Dallas to be, seen as a good place to hold events like this and put us on the map. And of course, I'm sure they're interested in, being a part of the event for no cost. But still, it's so awesome to see, 33,000 people put their hands up to be volunteers for this. So she said they're in the process of getting their uniforms in place. They already have done their orientation and training. It's really good testament to, Dallas, DFW, and our North Texas community here. So a little bit more about the soccer aspect of this, or football, I should say. There's going to be a couple different training sites for the players. We're going to have the Cotton Bowl Stadium, which is really cool. Usually, that's where we have the big Red River rivalry between Texas and OU. And then we also, SMU will also serve as training venues, Southern Methodist University, right here in the heart of Dallas and University Park. So those are going to be some of the training venues there. And then we're also going to have base camps here, which is really cool. So Toyota Stadium in Frisco is going to be hosting Sweden. And then we're going to have Mansfield Stadium hosting Czechia, which is really cool. And these teams will live and train at these base camps for 5 to 10 days before matches, any traveling for games that they have, and then they'll be returning back, actually. So not only, are we hosting games here, we're also hosting countries here for their base camp in between games, which is really cool. And for my soccer fans, I know I mentioned Lionel Messi will be playing here. There's going to be 2 matches, which will feature the 2022 World Cup winner Argentina, including, as we said before, Lionel Messi. 2 matches will actually involve Japan. one of those, I think it's the Netherlands will play Japan on June 14th. And I think she said the most anticipated group stage match is England versus Croatia. I'm not super into, the soccer football world, so I thought this was interesting, and maybe this is something that's already very well known. And there's actually a possibility that the USA team could play in Dallas on July 3rd, depending on group performances, which is also really cool because July 4th is obviously our Independence Day, and it's going to be the 250th anniversary of this. And what a better way to celebrate it than a win from USA on our home turf. I also, too, want to touch on the FIFA Fan Festival as someone who lives in actual Dallas proper is what we call it. I'm really excited about this FIFA Fan Festival being held at Fair Park. So it's going to be a 34 maybe plus day event, and it's going to serve as a central hub for visitors without match tickets, or I guess even for people with match tickets. Again, it can accommodate around 35,000 people at one time. They're going to have super large screens on the, Dos Equis Pavilion and outdoor areas. They're going to have commercial partners. Coca-Cola is going to be a big one. They're going to have food vendors with local and national flair, a kids playground, and, just different host city supporters, sponsorships, activation areas, which I love little activation. So that's exciting for me. The late night matches will not be screened there. There's some that are going to be around 10 p.m., 11 p.m. matches. Super crazy. They're expecting those people to watch those from home just for safety, so people aren't out super late. One of the other cool things is that there's going to be 3 concerts, which they still have bids out for right now. So that is soon to come. If I hear those, I'll put those in the comments. And a potential 4th one hosted by FIFA themselves. So we're expecting maybe a Latin artist, a country artist, and then who knows on those 3rd or 4th. So there's also going to be a July 4th celebration at the Fan Festival, which will include one of these, elevated concerts, which is really exciting. One of the other fun events that will be going on too is team marches. So fans of the Netherlands, Sweden, and Argentina are expected to organize marches. The Netherlands will march in Arlington, apparently, and Argentina's march is anticipated but not yet organized. So that they're coordinating with, this sports commission to make sure it's not blocking traffic too much, safety, things like that. And I know she talked a little bit about some other ancillary events, including an event for kids, a football soccer coach symposium, a 5K for, family fun run, walk, and a Legacy of Legends dinner too. And I do want to mention, 1, I have a little brother with special needs, and 2, I'm on the back end of a knee injury. So I want to say that they are definitely making plans to accommodate people with disabilities, whether it be transportation, fan areas, this is all being insured. And I know for personal experience that this is very important. Furthermore, there's even an arts and cultural experience to this as well. So there's going to be a permanent Texan Golden Boot in Arlington being made. There's going to be, different murals being made. So again, this is so community-based. There's some sort of different aspect for whatever you're interested in being incorporated into this major world. Okay, so now for potentially the most popular question, how do you get tickets? What are the pricing? So basically, from what I understand, the organizing committee has some face value tickets available, a couple different categories. The category 3, or I guess the cheapest ones that are at face value right now are $215. There's also a tier for tickets around $800. And then for the city final, those are going up to $4,000 from what Monica Paul is projecting and seeing on her end. There's going to be lounge seats available. There's going to be suites available, really just offering access to hospitality clubs and that luxury VIP experience. So from what I understand, tickets are sold on a first come, first served basis. I have not done research into this yet, but once I make this video, once I'm done with this, I am going to look into this because now I'm very heavily invested in such a, I guess not only is it fun and it's important to our community, but truly what a once in a lifetime experience to be able to say that I went to, the World Cup, especially in my hometown now. So again, like I was saying, I just want to wrap this up and just emphasize that this is one of those moments where Dallas isn't just growing. We're completely introducing ourselves to the world on just a whole nother level. Between FIFA World Cup, we have so many, all these top companies, Fortune 500, Fortune 100, all moving to the Dallas Fort Worth area. And then on top of that, we've got, we're starting our own Texas Stock Exchange. We are, having a whole financial district being built into Dallas. We're really putting ourselves on the map here. There's so many people moving into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, North Texas, and I think it's going to be, really interesting to watch over the next 5-10 years. So if you want help positioning yourself strategically in this market, the Dallas-Fort Worth market, whether that's buying, selling, investing, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Hallie McCrory. I'm a local Dallas real estate advisor. I'm an investor myself. I'm going to be doing more information about Dallas, things coming to Dallas, not just real estate, just, arts, culture, fashion, food. We have so much of this here in Dallas. So if you want to stay on top of what's going on in Dallas, please subscribe. I'd love to start breaking down exactly where the biggest opportunities are as we get closer to 2027, even the end of 2026. And that is a wrap. Can't wait for the World Cup, and I hope to see you there.